What am I? A baggie. These guys really think Vine's really coming back, and this crypto is going to benefit somehow. Vine may well come back. Not sure what it has to do with this thing. This cat is out of control. You don't want me to work? You say I'm over trading? That's why? Wow, 𝐤𝐤 is really dropping fast. 𝗓𝐤, wow, huge 𝗓𝐤 number. VINECOIN, big number as well. Wow, 𝗕𝗡's just killing it. And 𝗕𝗢𝗙's surprisingly weak. That makes three flattish quarters in a row. Not a good sign for 𝗕𝗢𝗙. There are a lot of drugs like 𝗕𝗙𝗙. That's, I think, one of the risks. Botox, a little weak as well, at least on the cosmetic side. The therapeutic side did fine. Fillers stay weak. Emgality is not 𝗕𝗡. 𝗓𝗡𝗦 is doing well. 𝗕𝗢𝗙 as well. It looks like 𝗕𝗡 is the only company doing well with CGRPs. What an impressive company. Walgreens down. Suspends dividend. 90-year. Wow. 90-year streak. Broken. Yeah, I don't think organizing a conference is going to change the value of many stocks. There's a lot of quantum conferences. This one won't make a difference. Some copium from shareholders. Boomers in shambles. Oh, Lord. Where's my dividend? Glad I avoided 𝗥𝗡𝗦. What a stock. There's a new token, tricks on it. It's on the 𝐔𝐧𝐤 protocol. I'm sure Melania coin. It's dry. It's like not had an uptick. These things are like so poorly thought out. No, I don't really short crypto in too much size. I might start to, I don't know. Quantum's kind of like nuclear, kind of like crypto. What's interesting is Fartcoin has been selling off. So my thesis that these two are correlated is being challenged. But again, Payday Friday, Robinhood Fridays, that could be it too. They always sell off though. So you get your check from construction and wifey gets her check from the nail salon. That's a double buy. That's double regretti. There's no Albanian term for bag holder that I'm familiar with. Stock market doesn't always behave the way we want it to. I do remember. It's funny, then I looked at a lot of the history of these bubbles, and many of them have second and third. Andy, I asked that the other day. I said, what happens when I had all these positions and then they just disappear all of a sudden? I had all these positions in my Binance account. They're gone. What happened? Did they transfer them? They transfer them to another account? Are you winning, son?
Order filled.
Look, every investment bank is the same. They're there to get transaction fees. Not much else to it. Some banks have reputations for doing any kind of transaction whatsoever. I miss this.
Hello, investing friends of financial freedom.
Look at him.
Hello, investing friends of financial freedom. Welcome into Investors Club. Got a special great show for you. Matt Nacktraub is in the house.
And he didn't take it easy on me.
Yeah, right now, Joe is administering the tricks on it technique using the 𝐔𝐬 protocol, glazing heavily.
But I decided to stop drinking. I started exercise.
This is such a weird reaction.
5 on my Webull ticker list.
Webull? Webull?
I'm going to keep going. And then after the short attack, you got...
Short attack?
You became an investor. And as always happens, you do some
The company does fraud. Short attack.
work before you invest. But after you had the longer you own a stock, the more you look into it, you just end up looking into it more. So you
Order
did some
canceled.
investigational work looking into Dr. Wang's lab and the attacks from the shorts. Yep. Now, for some background, Dr. Wang did both some early establishing work for cassava.
It's really weird that they were a pain medication company, and that doesn't work, so they just pull this Alzheimer's thing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Order
And I'm
filled.
like, oh, okay, well, geez. Yet these people are on Twitter saying that they pulled this out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They did pull it out of nowhere. Oh, jeez. I can't. VineCoin's hitting support. It's got support levels. Big institutions coming in buying VineCoin, hitting the fibs, buying the dips. You got to do your own research, Marco. That's part of investing. You got to find good service providers, good partners, good banks and clearinghouses. I think they're restricted from doing another offering for at least a few more weeks, but I suspect they'll do an offering soon. They agreed to not do another offering within like 90 days of their last offer. No, I never do the 3x ETFs. Those are for people who can't get margin. I mean, if it helps you, do it. I think AVXL is a 0. Don't ever get it. The only reason you'd ever be getting a message from me is if you're a beautiful woman. And now that I've got my wifey, there's basically absolutely no reason why I would ever message you. But smart of you to check. Some people don't even check. I mean, God, I don't know. Maybe if you're a Godel customer, I might message you. Discord is for anybody. No, Discord is mostly social. Jerome Powell said there's a bubble, big asset price bubble right now. Bitcoin's up, and the big bull thesis is basically busted. There's no obvious Bitcoin stockpile. So 105K is a sitting duck. I think we're going to see 75 to 90% downside in quantum. So as soon as the stock starts moving linearly down, which I would expect is going to start at any time, but obviously there's still some paroxysms, some fits and starts left. But at some point, the hype will die down. We'll just staircase down. Spaghetti calls are worthless. I'm pretty sure you're saying puts. 75% down from today's price. Is it not priced in? Is the decline not of the price priced in? BlackRock's in every stock, and it's passively managed. Well, you're going to have no implied value on calls that are expiring today, so you just pick something close to the intrinsic value of the call. And if the price of the underlying is going to fall during that time, then it's going to be hard to sell, but someone will buy them from you at intrinsic value. Yeah, the markets aren't too efficient. Yeah, I'll do a meetup at some point. We'll try to do a Godel type meetup. I don't know if I can do a London meetup or a European meetup. Yeah, Monaco sounds really fun. Who knows, we might do something like that. Hire some traders and I could just yell at them all day. Remember, it's not interactive, so it only runs to completion and it ends, so there's no loop really. So some of it's going to have to be classical. So like, yeah, you could play it. It'd be a classical game that calls out to the quantum computer or something. Like true RNG. There's just, you can't do a REPL. You can't do any kind of interactive response in quantum. It's just not meant for that. It's meant to do calculations. So I'm not sure what kind of game we can put on there. Getting closer, but I actually think that I'm kind of looking at the wrong metric. I think the key is what price. There's a lot of ways to analyze it. Like one of them is like how many up days. Another one would be what's the max instead of draw down, draw up. I think those are probably more important in our case than anything else. It's the thing, like what we're really trying to measure is when will it start going down every day and reach the abyss. And I don't think we care how long it takes once it just starts going down. What we don't want is it going up or sideways, especially with these like big up days, right? So the question is, yeah, like when will it just start melting? And melting will take, whether it melts fast or slow, it's just melting. Some days it'll go down a lot, some days it'll go down a little, but it's probably not going to go down in one day. You know, some days it'll be down 10%, but the other days it might be down 1 or 2%, which is fine. I don't think you need a catalyst. You know, most of these stocks that we identified on the bubble, there was no real catalyst up and there was no real catalyst down. It's just play the same quote again from Jensen. Yeah, it'll be once people lose their focus, that'll kind of be the time it'll start to drop. Chasing new opportunities, so long as the economy is good and unemployment's low. Let's look at Google Trends. It's still somewhat elevated over pre-Willow. I mean, with Willow, it reached maximum, and it's dropped 90% or 80% since then, but it's still a little elevated from the pre-Willow. Make sure I check all these DMs on Godel. I'll open a separate one. There's a difference between the stock going down 90%, the amount of time it takes for a stock to go down 90%. Then there's the difference between how long does it take for the stock to drop consistently. Well, it's hard to measure consistent drops, so I want to do like max draw up. It's a very bizarre, I guess you could say just max drawdown and just define it upside down. 3D printing was pretty close to quantum. Yeah, you can run longs forever as long as management's good and the price doesn't get too crazy. But if you look at Palantir, I mean, the price has gotten kind of ahead of itself. So you always have to be a little vigilant. No, I wouldn't short great companies on valuation, but I'd probably sell them. I mean, If it was unrealistic valuation, you don't want to overstay your welcome. Sometimes stocks get overshot. Now they could just get more expensive over time. But usually there's some kind of drawback, or pullback, I should say. Tariffs probably aren't going to do enough unless they're actually felt somewhere in some other kind of report. You know, like CPI, CPI, GDP, even ISM. Mostly, though, I would say quarterly earnings. The proof has to be in the pudding. We've raised money. I don't really like talking to VCs, to be honest. One. And then two, you know, we're building the company the way we want, you know? And we still retain a lot of ownership. A lot of our users are investors, which is cool. A lot of fellow CEOs. But, you know, at some point, I'm sure we'll take 10 or 20 Series A, 10 or 20 million, and a bigger round from some institutions. I certainly know all of them. I mean, we've kept most of the equity. Yeah, I get the sense those guys like to do the biggest deals because you kind of have to go to there's a handful of companies that can finance. You think 15 years quantum would work? I don't know about that. We got a long way to go. I think it's possible quantum never works. You guys want to see some quantum magic? A lot of physics and a lot of math to understand quantum. All right, so here's a quantum program, and I've got like a dozen variations on this. But here's a quantum program. Let me see if I can explain it to you guys line by line. Oh, that's beyond me or not. But here you have some imports. NumPy is a very popular Python package. This is core library from called math. Fractions is core library. And then Quizkit is IBM's quantum Python package. And this is kind of the gold standard for Python. So we're going to use Quizkit to do this. So Quizkit allows you to sort of log into the IBM cloud. Okay, so here, this is kind of interesting. So with n equals 15, this is the number we're going to factor. But this, a equals 7, we're basically going to determine the so-called period by ourselves. Normally, what the whole point of Shor's algorithm is that you're going to try to find this period, which is coprime, or relatively prime. You have to find this with a quantum computer. But in this case, we're going to do this classically. In fact, we're not even going to do it classically. We're just going to dictate what it is. So this is not full Shor's, right? We're going to use 8 qubits. And so here is, you know, a modular exponentiation. But from what you can see, it's sort of deciding one, it says the period has to be one of these, and we're going to go through each period one by one. And here you can see the commands for each period. This is the NOT gate. And so it's kind of a bit of a bizarre modular exponentiation. It's pretty fake. This is the quantum Fourier transform 𝗣𝗥𝗓, so inverse QFT. And this is implemented correctly. This is the Hadamard, puts everything in superposition, and here we start to run. So what I want to do here is I want to actually get a whole bunch of data on what this circuit actually does. So this program works. No, Francisco, I haven't. But can you run that on QC? How would you prepare that circuit? So what I'm going to do, I don't want to show you my API key, but other than that, what I'm going to do, so you see first if I can find this program on my hard drive. Yeah, I would say this is about as complex as it gets. So don't be upset if you couldn't do this at home or you needed a lot of help or whatever. Okay, so what we want to find out is, and then I have much more sophisticated implementations, but this is the smallest, simplest hello world implementation that'll actually run on a true quantum computer. What we want to do is get as much diagnostic information as possible here. So let's go to just before we run the circuit. So here I'm just going to print raw circuit object, and I'm actually just going to print everything is in this QC object. we're going to print that. And then we're going to try to draw it. I don't know how this ends up working, but it'd be curious if it'll draw. Okay, I don't know if we draw an MPL. Maybe we could save circuit to a file. Okay, there we go. We'll see it draw maybe an ASCII as well. That'd be funny. All right, so number of qubits and number of classical bits, and then circuit depth. Let's do before and after circuit size. Okay, and then gates. Instruction data list, and then open QASM representation. So QASM is quantum assembly. Doesn't matter, Georgia Tech. We've run this enough times we don't need to run it again. So what I'm actually going to do is let's see if we can. So we're going to try optimization level 3, which I've never tried before. After the transpilation, maybe we could stop it here by doing input. Okay, so this is post-transpilation. Qubits after transpilation, classical bits after transpilation, circuit depth after transpilation, circuit size after transpilation, gate count after transpilation, instruction data. This is all the same, QASM. All right, let's see how this runs. Python, the WSL2 and the Python library, the Python environment here is a little up. On my Mac, it's an instant. Imports load instantly. This is a little bit squirrely. I got to do some surgery at some point. Okay, yeah, so there's the, there is a circuit. Okay, no, it's kind of neat. Have you guys seen that before? This is definitely what it's supposed to look like and do. It's the next part of the circuit. It's a big circuit. Okay, so it threw on some QASM not found kind of thing. Let me see if I can. The exact error was. I saw it flash. I think like a robot. I'm too obsessed. I'm too obsessed. Don't tell me what I'm too obsessed. It's too hard to do quantum error correction because there are too many qubits required. For each qubit that you want to do logical operations, you probably need 1,000, maybe a lot more. Could be as much as 100,000 qubits just to preserve each logical qubit. This transpilation's going to be very funny to see how I can do that. I was diving into the Qiskit source code, trying to get a sense for how it works. It's not pretty. I'm not saying the IBM people did a bad job. I'm just, oof. See, we're stuck here. Transpiled circuit op. So, I mean, this is post-transpilation, theoretically, but it's stuck on, I mean, theoretically, this print statement should not trigger until the circuit's actually, oh, there we go. I don't know what I just did, but I probably broke the law. Your Honor, I'm sorry. It writes to a file. Don't worry about that. This is supposed to be more efficient than the other diagram. It seems, Your Honor, what had happened was I pressed the quantum. I was trying to do the quantum. And next thing I know, the alternate dimensions of the universe opened up. And what happened was they blamed me for it, but I had not been there. I didn't see what happened. I did not intend for reality to be distorted in the wormhole. Sir, you clearly haven't learned your lesson. You've been opening up quantum wormholes. No choice but to sentence you to another period of incarceration. Oh, man. Sir, sit down. Man. Stop it, sir. Your alien friends are not going to help. Maybe Albert Einstein and Erwin Schrödinger can help you out of this one, but I have no mercy for you, sir. You put your last gate in superposition. I sentence you to a complex number of months to serve. No mathematics are allowed. Oh, definitely MMA. There was an order-filled meme going on our Discord yesterday. Finance girl bringing you McDonald's and jokingly saying in a British accent, order filled. So why would this draw it twice? I guess it's drawing it here, but I want the MPL output. This is going to be a big JPEG. Or maybe this is the so-called final layout. out. Oh, this thing's so annoying. I think I won't print these in the future. Run it back. Oh, wait. I actually wanted to do something else. Oh, I told you not to print this out. Oh, I think it prints it out. Just want to save. Yeah, I think Novo Nordisk is fairly valued. It's going to be a bit challenging for them to, from eventual generic Ozempic. Ozempic doesn't have bad side effects. Okay, this is really interesting. Okay, this is the information we find. Finally, this is the information we wanted. So I'm going to write kind of like the diagnostics at the top here. There's 35,000 gates. Okay, so that's before optimization. So if the fidelity of the gate is 99.5 and there's 35,000 gates, the chances your program would succeed would be 0. Now, if the gate's 99.9%, you still would be looking at no chance of success. But the program runs. So we have to see kind of what happens here. There's a couple little details. This program does work. In the meantime, I should point out the U3 gate. Yeah, these are not simulators. There's no real practical scenario. But getting back to the so the U3 is phase rotation, single qubit. It's printing again, or maybe it's because I'm drawing it. Either way, I gotta stop doing that. What? That's weird. The circuit's bigger after optimization. Optimization level 0. Yeah, so the 2-qubit fidelity is a little different from the 1-qubit fidelity. Even still, remember, you could also do 2,000 shots or 4,000 shots, but you still would be looking at a very small percentage of success. The optimization should unroll. There's 3 optimization levels, so I don't know yet. We'll see. Again, we do get this to run, so we're trying to get better information as to what's going on. This is like the instructions. Yeah, maybe Seal Quantum Team can help me with this. Everyone knows they're the best in the business. Qubits after transpilation, 127. Why would there be more gates after optimization? How is that optimized? QE's around the corner? I thought Jerome said they were reducing their balance sheet. Now I'm trying to figure out how this thing runs at all, given the number of gates. 99.6. This is 98.2, qubit number 5. Readout assignment error. 99.95 with 14,000 gates. Theoretically, you will get at least a few right answers on 4,000 shots. But yeah, I guess what I'm trying to get at is the IONQs have no pending jobs. Let me show you. It's really funny, actually. It's my AWS break it. Here's the IONQ machine. Oh, Rigetti coming soon. They changed it. It was unavailable. Now it's coming soon. Sweet. Here's the Forte 1. Task queue depth 1. Still have 160,000 gates, which I really don't understand how this operation succeeds. Maybe IBM's lying to us. You wouldn't lie to us, IBM, would you? I'm sure there's a rational explanation. Get a little bit of a P&L come back here. Thank you, quantum computing. No, not Kramer. My 𝗙𝗓𝗃 boss. But
Order partially
I'd love
filled.
to catch up with Kramer too.
Order filled.
Kramer's just old school. This is just like my old boss Steve. I mean, he's just an old school hedge fund guy that has been through the wars. You know, if any of you have been shorting quantum with me and you know how painful it is, like when I say been through the wars, this is what I'm talking about, like scars. Yeah. And I mean, so my old boss named Steve. I was telling Steve, I said, because, you know, there's these guys like Bill Wang worked with Steve at one point, or worked at the same company as Steve. And, you know, so many other people, SPF, so many others, you know, and I said, in hedge funds, you either lose your mind or you lose your freedom. But the market's taking one of them. And if you're going to walk away with a big profit, you know, people look at Bill Ackman and they're like, why is he so weird? You manage other people's money for 25 years, you're going to end up. Now, the guys that have like the pod shops, they're a lot saner, but they just
Order cancelled.
outsource their insanity to the guys that work for them. These guys have really good mousetraps, and it allows them to be relatively sane. But for the rest of us, I think I'm up triple in my crypto account. This thing should have made so many baggies. Like, this is the same price it was yesterday, right now. So if you bought all this volume and now you're down 10% on it, right? Everyone here in this chat, when it was up, we're just sitting there clenching like, oh, will I survive this? Will I survive this? And the thing is almost down. If you bought at 40 or 42 or 44, sitting there like, we're squeezing Shkreli. I'm just sitting there like bracing for impact.
Order partially filled. Order filled.
And I survived. Got the full reversal. What are you going to do with your stock that you bought at 42 or 43 or 44? Wait for your next paycheck? Oh, Trump's going on in 10 minutes. Yeah, I remember Rigetti retraced all the way back. You don't want to know what my P&L range was today. I actually might be up today, which is nuts because I'm including my crypto shorting. We might break 39 on IONQ. Yeah, my old boss said he's going to look at IONQ. Yeah, the implied vol is dropping as well. Form 4, 12, 13. I don't see a Form 4 from today. You know how many times I shake Cramer's shoulder with fake news? You go, oh, bro, this and this is happening. You're like, huh? He'd look it up and he'd be like, my bad, bro. Kramer used to make you wear a Post-it note on your head for the rest of the day or something. Take the 2 pieces of bread, put them in your head. What am I? Baggy sandwich. Hopefully today is the last day I have to wear the bag. I'm going to keep this bag down here in case.
Order partially filled.
Just in case.
Order filled.
I am short SLS. I'm not fully recovered. Trump going to break 25. Fartcoin breaking 90 cents is a big deal. Bitcoin also just keeps sinking. I think Novo is fairly valued. They're going to have a challenge with orienting their expiry around Ozempic. I think Santa is very intriguing, but I can't say I'm an expert in it. You got to figure out your own service providers if you're going to trade for a living. There's people who won't tell you their service providers just so they can use them. I don't want you using my service provider. Oh, I'm still bag holding. But I'm about to go from holder to boulder. You don't want your provider to be too crowded. You think Trump's buying DTEs? Buy the DTEs. What do they call those again, Baron? DTE? BTE? Buy the BTEs. Thank you. Call Nancy. I want to buy the BTEs with her. Does she like them? Does she like them? If she likes them, we like them.